Hi, I'm Rainbow Sparkle and I'm reading the Enchanted Wood. And this is chapter 11, More and More Surprises. There doesn't seem to be anyone here, said Bessie, cautiously looking around. Well, who lit the candle? Asked Moonface, his big round face looking anxious. We didn't leave it lighted. Suddenly the father bear gave out an angry growl and pointed to his chair. Who's been sitting in my chair? He said. And who's been sitting in my chair? Said Mother Bear, pointing to hers. And who's been sitting in my chair and it's all broken to bits? Squealed the baby bear. Bessie giggled. It sounds like the story of the 3 bears coming true, she said. They'll talk about porridge next. And they did. Who's been eating my porridge? Said the father bear angrily. And who's been eating my porridge? Said the mother bear. And who's been eating my porridge and they've gobbled it all up? Wept the baby bear, scraping his spoon round his empty bowl. The girls couldn't help themselves laughing. Well, I never thought I'd see the tale of the 3 bears acted out like this, she said. Oh, this is all very mysterious, said Moonface. Someone lit the candle, someone sat in the chairs, and somebody ate the porridge, but who? It was not me this time, said Goldilocks. I was with you all the time. We were snowballing, wasn't I, Bears? You certainly were, growled Father Bear, patting the little girl on the back. He was very fond of her. I wish we'd found poor Joe, said Bessie, suddenly remembering that they hadn't seen him. Whatever he will be doing in this horrid cold land. Do you suppose we ought to go back out and look for him again? There was an icy wind blowing outside. No, said Moonface. No one is going out of this cottage again until we're safely in the wood at home. I'm afraid we can't possibly rescue Joe now. What's that noise? Said the Goldilocks suddenly. Everybody listened. Someone was snoring softly in the other room. We never thought of looking there, said Moonface. But who can it be? Shh, said Goldilocks. If we can catch him asleep, we can tie him up and make him prisoner easily. But if he wakes up, he might be fierce. They tiptoed to the door of the bedroom and one by one they squeezed through. Who's been lying in my bed? Said Father Bear in a growly voice. Shh, said Moonface crossly. Well, who's been lying in my bed? Said Mother Bear. Shh, said everyone. And who's been lying in my bed and is fast asleep there still? Said the baby bear. Everyone stared at the cot. Yes, there was someone there. There was someone there wearing a white fur coat. Was it a polar bear? It's a white bear, said Moonface, half frightened. Tie him up before he wakes. He's an enemy now. Goldilocks got a rope out of the kitchen cupboard. Moonface went one side of the cot and the father bear went on the other, and the rope held between them. They nodded to one another. In a trice they both bent down, caught hold of the sleeper, twisted the rope tightly around him. He's caught, said Moonface joyfully. Joe awoke with a jump. Who had got him? Had the magic snowman caught him again? He began to shout and struggle. Moonface tied him more tightly. And then Bessie and Fanny saw his face and yelled out, Moonface, it's Joe! It's Joe! They rushed to the cart and flung their arms around Joe. The boy was too astonished to speak. He got out of the rope and hugged his sisters. "How did you get here?" he asked. "Well, how did you get here?" said the girls. "Come into the kitchen and we'll have some hot porridge and milk, and we can talk and get warm," said Mother Bear. So Joe went in with the others, all chattering loudly about everything. Goldilocks laid out hot porridge into blue bowls and made some cocoa. Soon everyone was putting sugar or treacle on porridge and drinking cocoa. Joe poured some milk over his porridge and smiled joyfully at everyone. "What an adventure this has been," he said. "Shall I tell my tale first, or will you tell yours?" He told his, and then Bessie told how Moonface had gone to the three bears for help, and all happened into a fierce battle. "It's a pity about the battle," said the father bear. "The white bears are cousins of ours and have always been very friendly. Now they seem to be enemies. Well, let's hope they don't discover our cottage," they said, eating the hot porridge. Moonface, hadn't we better make some magic and get back to the woods? "Oh, plenty of time, said Moonface, pouring himself another cup of cocoa. But you know there wasn't plenty of time, for just at that moment, Goldilocks gave out a scream and pointed to the window. "Someone's looking in," she said. "Oh, don't be silly," said Moonface. "I'm not," said Goldilocks. "I tell you, someone looked in. Who could it be?" "The handle of the door is moving," yelled Moonface, and he leapt to the door, and in a trice he locked it and bolted it. The father bear got up and went to the window. He looked out into the sandstorm. "I can see nothing," he said, and he growled loudly. "Oh, yes, I can. I can see white bears, and they've surrounded our cottage. Now what shall we do?" "Well, we can't get in at the door. They certainly shan't get in at the window," said Moonface. The door shook, but it held well. Someone was battering on it. We shan't let you in," yelled Joe. "If anyone tries to open the window or break it, I'll hit them with this kettle," shouted Moonface, who had caught up and lifted up the kettle and was dancing about with it. "Moonface, that kettle has got hot water in it," said Fanny. "Do be careful. You dropped some on me." "I will pour it down the neck of any bear that dares to come in here," said Moonface, splattering around the room. "Oh dear," said Bessie. "Hide behind the bed. It seems to me that Moonface is almost as dangerous as the bears." The father bear dragged the table across the door. Things were getting exciting. Joe and the girls were frightened, but they couldn't help feeling terribly thrilled too. Whatever was going to happen next? "Mm-hmm," boomed the big bears outside. But they couldn't get into the door or the window. But they found another way. The chimney was wide and big above the fireplace. It was an old-fashioned kind, and they needed a wide chimney. One of the bears climbed up onto the roof, followed by three more. The first one slipped down the big chimney. Down he went, whoosh! Down another one went, and the third and the fourth. They landed with a crash into the big fireplace and hurried and jumped along the flames of the fire. "Surrender!" cried all the children and bears. "Surrender! The magic snowman is outside. Let him in!"